Thank you for tuning in to the British News Network. Now, this is Thomas Pendleton, and today we are discussing the Berlin Conference. Today is February 27th, 1855, and the Berlin Conference has recently come to a close. I am proud to be the first public source to announce that our lovely nation has received Kenya. Now, we are still, of course, receiving details about Britain's plan for Kenya, but until then, enjoy the weather. Thank you for tuning in, viewer. Today I have good news. 1887 is officially the year that the son of Sultan Sayed Said has handed over the British East Africa Company to Britain. Now, this gives us our first real political power in Kenya. Now, leading experts in the field of economics believe that this is a significant step toward our country officially taking over Kenya. That sounds evil. But believe me, it's not. For underdeveloped countries like Kenya, there could be nothing more beneficial than complete British rule. Welcome to the British News Network. Today we have, again, good news. As usual. Remember that prediction I made 8 years ago? Well, it has come true. Kenya is now officially declared a British East Africa Protectorate. Ready for another prediction? I predict clear skies along with peace and prosperity for our country, as well as our little friend Kenya. Thank you very much. This has been the British News Network, signing out.
Kuwakaribisha, fellow Kenyans, to the Kenyan Newscast. This is Zwadi Ladiba, covering today's African unions. We all know from 1895, our country has been officially declared a British protectorate. As of 1944, two prominent unions exist. First up is the Young Kikuyu Association. As we know, the Kikuyu make up approximately 25% of the population. This union is followed by a smaller union, the Kenyan African Union. They are a small party of educated leaders attempting to bring together Kenyan tribes of different origins. This specific group is led by a man named Jomo Kenyatta. Kenyatta is currently lobbying for social and economic reforms, and he seems to be heading in a very anti-British direction. My fellow Kenyans, this is political war. This is Zwadi Ladiba, and today we have some important news to cover. A new union has formed from the tribe of the Kikuyos because of the growing intolerance of the reserves their tribe was placed in. Reserves became cramped and dilapidated, while the rich land in the mountains and hills were saved for the British. In 1950, the Mau Mau have revolted against the British. I have been informed that Kenyatta's Kenyan African Union is responsible for this uprising of the Mau Mau. These revolts have violated British attempts to gain more political power. Now, I'm sending you over to my brother, Abdul, to discuss what it is like to be a member of the Mau Mau, as well as who Jomo Kenyatta was.
Walikuwa kikundi kuu kilichowatoa wazungu wote Kenya. Kila mtu aliyekuwa Mau Mau aliongozwa na Dedan Kimathi, na walipouliwa akaenda jela. Alipotoka jela ikabidi Wakenya wote wakubali kuwa sasa tumetoka katika kiongozi ya wazungu na sasa tuko sisi peke yetu. Dedan Kimathi aliongoza Mau Mau kuvuruta wazungu wote Kenyani na tukapata uhuru wetu. Asante.
Welcome back. Here at the studio, I am joined with a scholar of African politics, Gobi Yushi, to discuss what the Mau Mau uprising is and what it means for Kenya.
Thank you, Zawada.
So, how would you explain the Mau Mau uprising?
In my opinion, the Mau Mau uprising is the most violent independence movement made by Kenyan people in our century and Africa.
So, how would you explain the Mau Mau uprising?
Well, members of KAU, Kenya African Union, they were ignited by the ignorance of British government about their suggestion and petition. Besides, they were disappointed with the leading of Kenyatta toward independence because it's too conservative and inefficient. So many KU, while they were joining the Mau uprising, they are the largest ethnic group in Kenya. And their purpose was to drive all the white settlers out of Africa. And I think that's a very avant-garde plan.
So, what does the Mau Mau uprising mean for us Kenyans?
This radical plan caused thousands of people, both British and Kenyan people, died. And this was a brilliant movement made by Kenyan people toward their freedom. And I think, according to my friends who work at the office in the colonial government, that the colonial government recently started the process of the Operation Anvil as response toward the Mau Mau uprising.
Now you mentioned something about Operation Anvil. What's that?
Good afternoon. Stand up, step aside. You are uncomfortable. And you, Yobayushi, stop your sedition. I don't know why Officer Barron sent you to come here, but this is your only chance to leave before there's trouble. I came for Zawadi. You may leave.
What do you want? You're interrupting a newscast.
You and your brother have been exposed as members of the Mau Mau. You are required to follow me to a detention camp set up outside of town.
A detention camp?
Look, you want to know what Operation Anvil was. Well, this is it. Now turn off the newscast and follow me. What is this? Welcome to a British newscast. It's a warm Monday, and in the terrible year of 1965, I'm here to report that despite Operation Anvil, the Mau Mau uprising led to far too many British casualties. And as a result, well, British had to hand over political power to the Kenyans. Because of this, our show has lost funding, meaning that this will be the last British network podcast. This is Thomas Pendelvin, signing out for the last time. This has been the British News Network. And personally, I'd like to wish you a thank you for, signing, tuning in, whatever you did. I don't even care.
If we are going to sin, we must sin quietly. Eric Griffith Jones, Attorney General of Kenya. If you were wondering where your friendly neighborhood Mau Maus have gone, here are some details on Kenyan detainment camps. After bringing in psychologists to try to figure out why the Mau Mau were acting in an extreme manner, the British concluded that Mau Maus were wrought with some sort of mental illness onset by their oaths. The British solution was to force them to forsake their oaths by making them work in detainment camps to civilize the Mau Maus. It was believed that in doing this, this mysterious mental illness would be cured. April 3rd, 1959, 11 died and many others were injured in the Camp Hola massacre. The reason for this horrible act of violence, British became frustrated with the detainees refusing to work, so they commanded guards and British officers to beat anyone who rebelled against orders. After, the British had realized what they had did and attempted to cover it up by saying the prisoners had died of contaminated water. In fear of being exposed, the British slowly shut down the camps and all was forgotten. 1969, Siku Mafika. This is Zawadi Lariwa, returning to the Kenyan newscast. Kenya has recently just gone through much violence, which has led to big changes. Now, Jomo Kenyatta is our first head of state. He has been governing to bring national unity, which is something our country definitely needs. In fact, as of today, Kenya has become a one-party state. We welcome back Gobi Yushi to this Kenyan newscast. Welcome back.
Thank you, Ziwanda.
As you already know, today we are here to talk about some issues in Kenya following our decolonization. What are some things that come to mind for you?
Well, as we have seen, Jomo Kenyatta, Tom Mboweni, and Raila Odinga from the first Kenya government, which held power until 1970s. This government was far from perfect, and the leaders of Kenya just still have the conflict among them. For example, the Kenyatta's vice president Odinga advocated for a more leftist policy and charged Kenyatta's government of corruption. Odinga created a new party in order to win some more influence in the government. However, Kenyatta harnessed it into oblivion.
And Tom Mboweni didn't turn out so well either, did he?
Yes, according to my research, that the Tom Mboweni actually accused the Kenyatta's government of corruption and nepotism. And in 1969, he was assassinated by a Kikuyu that has a government background.
And what did Kenyatta do?
Kenyatta pushed land reform, reached gradual success. He distributed 23 million acres of land to Africans which developed economy. After his death in 1978, his policies still had large influence in Kenya.
And this economic growth contributed to Kenya infrastructure.
Yes, and it prompted to a free primary education initiative. And later, the government's financial was mostly come from the tourism industry.
So, in summary, despite some political problems after decolonization, Kenya is looking at a positive future, right?
I would say so. As long as we keep making smart choices, we will experience the benefits.
Well, thank you for your time, Gobi. And to our viewers, thanks for watching. This has been Zwadi Lariba and Gobi Juicy. 20 Kesho.
Received Kenya. Now, we are still receiving details about Britain's frick.
Kirakalibusha.
Because they are the largest ethnic group in Africa, Kenya. And can you start again?
You mentioned something about Operation Anvil. What's that?
Shut down the newscast! Yeah, so what? I really did. Okay, I'm sorry.
You mentioned something about Operation Anvil. What's that?
Shut down the newscast! Zawai Lama, stand up. Frick. That's language, I'm sorry.
We welcome back Gobi Yushi to this Kenyan newscast. Welcome back.
Thank you.
As you already know, today we are here to talk about some issues in Kenya following our decolonization. What are some things that come to mind for you?
Well, as we have seen, Jomo Kenyatta moved Tom Mboya. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's like difficult.
Jomo Mboya.
Jomo Kenyatta, Tom Mboya.
Are you still recording?